Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to yet another session on the Start Now with Purpose and a Master Plan. Talking about the fact that a lot of people get preoccupied about what to do in life, what career, what business, what should I get myself engaged in, and I say, instead of asking what's in the market, what sells in the market, especially now in this era of AI coming in and they're going to take your jobs, you better be able to adapt. What kind of skills do you need to thrive in the 21st century? I ask you to instead consider asking yourself, why am I here? Because the purpose for which you were created, that then determines your pursuits. That then leads to profit. So if your question is, I want to do something that is meaningful in life, find out what your purpose is. If your question is, I want to know where I can make nice money in life, find out from God what your purpose is. Today, we're going to start on another topic, and we're going to talk about the power of having a personal vision. This is all in this book, Start Now with Purpose and a Master Plan. So in case you want to go through your own self-paced, self-taught, reflection, journal type exercises on why you are here, how you can discover your purpose, how you can then develop a master plan, how you can display your presence in the marketplace, whether that's in career or business or ministry for that matter, and finally, how you can deliver excellence, this book would be amazing for you. And I have it on Amazon, whether you'd like it print or you'd like it as a Kindle digital copy. That's where you can get that. When you don't have a personal vision, you could settle for absolutely anything. You do not know how much God has in store for you. You do not know the abilities, the extent, the potential within you. So if you don't have a personal vision, you could settle too soon. If you don't have a personal vision, you could take any direction in life. I mean, anybody asks you to partner on anything, you're for it. Can you invest money in this? Let's go. Are you available to go to this place? Let's go. Would you do this job for me? Let's do it. You will go in any direction in life simply because you think there's an opportunity for it, because you don't have a personal vision. It is not for you to just make up a vision. It's to ask, God, why am I here? It's not going to be something crazy. The things that you have liked, the things that you have found easy to do, the things that people have most often come to you for, the things that you say, if I had the money, I would take care of this issue for these people. Or if I had the power, this would be a non-issue in our context, whether it's your community or it's your nation or it's for a specific demographic group, maybe it's women, maybe it's youth. Those things point to purpose. We have a podcast, the Modesta Mahiga 360 Leadership Podcast. I highly recommend that you subscribe to it on Apple, on Spotify, on Google, on Amazon, because I bring in leaders, 360 leaders that are aware that they have to align their work and their lives so that they can really be authentic, so that they can truly thrive as leaders. We have shared the conversation between Imelda Momanka and I. She is a global African business leader and businesswoman, and she had been through some setbacks, and so she shares about this book that she recently launched, profiling Tanzanian women. Tanzania is where I come from. Shout out to my people in Bongo. Profiling Tanzanian women that have had to pivot in heels during COVID, right? That they had to make a plan, about turn, change things up. These are women leaders that life has happened to. And so in business or in life, they had to, or they decided to come to a place to pivot. And she was sharing how she got to a place where she started questioning whether her dream was even still valid. That life can happen to you so much that those dreams that you had when you were growing up, that those things that you wanted to be and do, the difference that you wanted to make, life can happen so much that you start watering it down. You're like, okay, maybe that was far-fetched. Maybe that was a dream when I was younger. So you might get to a place in life where you're like, okay, that was then, this is now, this is real life. I don't even have time to think, let alone pursue dreams. I want to say to you, I read something today that messed me up. It said, Your dreams never go away. They just hibernate as hobbies. So some people feel like, I'm going to do this in my career and in my business. This is the adulting thing. Or maybe I studied it. Or maybe, like as I was saying last week, this is what seems to be the respectable profession to be in. This is what I will do. And then that thing which is really in my heart, that thing that will never go quiet, that thing that keeps on asking me to give it expression, let that be my side hustle. Let that be my hobby. I mean, after all, what can I possibly do with that? Or so much time has gone by. How on earth do I go back? How do I backtrack and try to do that? I want to say to you, purpose is for a lifetime. The vision over your life, it is going to continue speaking over your life. That dream you've had, it will continue speaking to you until you give it expression, or you just burn daylight and you run out of time. But there is a very specific calling over your life, there's a specific purpose that God put you on earth, and it is always to solve a solution, to solve a problem. It is always to be a solution to a problem in your generation, in your industry, in your sector, in your country, God defines different spaces for different people. And there is a specific vision that you are to fulfill. There is a picture of a destination. I love the way Dr. Miles Monroe had put this in one of his books. And I don't remember which book now, but one of his books, I think maybe it was In Charge. I can't recall. But he said, vision is like having a postcard image of where you want to go. So when you get a postcard from someone, like, have you ever been sent a postcard by someone? You get to see where they are. Maybe they've traveled there. Maybe it was a little tour, and there are tourists there. And you say, oh, wow, this is so beautiful. Oh, amazing that you're at this place. And we usually send postcards of really picturesque spaces that we want other people to get a taste of where we are. Your vision is an inward picture of what it will look like when you have successfully solved the problem you are to solve for the people, for the places, for the nations, for the generation that you've been called to. So when you see that vision, right? So I'm just thinking right now of Moses in the Bible, right? He was told that he's going to lead the Israelites to the promised land. He had a picture of that, of leading the Israelites to the promised land. He did not know all the details of going, what's going to happen in Egypt, what's going to happen in the wilderness. He may not have had all of those details, but he had a picture of that the Israelites will finally be free and they're going to a promised land. And he was to lead them there. So that vision was clear to him. Actually, God said this. He said, as far as your eye can see, I have given you. As far as your eye can see, I have given you. God has a God-sized vision for your life. But it is as far as your eye can see that you will actually get a hold of. From when I was a little girl, I've wanted to represent women and children. I have wanted to represent the underserved. I wanted to represent who I felt were actually discriminated against. And so everything within me was to be a lawyer, was to study gender and family and child law so that I can represent women and children. This has been my whole thing. So every grade in primary school, in some places called elementary school, everything that I did, I have a friend who says, there's a time they invited me out. I was a serious person that never went out. So one day I decided I will go out. We were boarding school. I started boarding school at 8. So we were boarding school as a teenager, and my friends, are packing to go out, and they say, where are your clothes? Like, what are you packing for the weekend? And apparently I had packed all these books. And this friend of mine, shout out to you, Mahiga, who asked me, so where are your clothes? Apparently, I said, my books will clothe me in the future. I mean, guys, I was that intense. My books will clothe me in the future. I was so driven to become a lawyer who would represent women and children. Every fiber of my being pivoted towards that. And I did my law degree. And by the grace of God, I got the law degree. I did the bar exam. I became an advocate of the High Court of Tanzania. And then life pivoted me into a different direction. Fast forward after the 7 businesses I've run across 3 countries and 2 continents. Fast forward to today, it's getting clearer and clearer to me that the vision over my life is to equip Africans to be the leading economic region in the world, right? So I am equipping the men and women that are going to lead Africa's ascent. That has been burning in my heart since when did I start my first business? When I was 26. And it's gaining momentum as I take steps of faith towards it. Second thing is, because we're used to only getting information from what we see, what we hear, what we taste, what we smell, what we can touch, it is a struggle for many people, first of all, to accept that they are the ones who are called to fulfill this God-sized vision. So just that you're like, look, God, I think you've got the wrong person. Do you even know me? Do you know the challenges I have? Do you know how many times I've slipped up? Do you know that I speak with an accent? Do you know that I have a lisp? Do you know that I failed? Do you know that I've done this to people? Do you even know who you're speaking to? And I'm going to take you back to Jeremiah. I quoted Jeremiah earlier. And God said, listen, before I put you in your mother's womb, I knew you. And I had already set you apart. I had already called you to be. And he mentioned to him, it was a prophet to the nations, right? So before you did a thing, good or bad, I already had a purpose and a vision for your life. You are the one that you have been waiting for and we have been waiting for. So the second thing you're going to have to do is you're going to just have to receive by faith that you are the person to fulfill this God-sized vision. What holds most people back is the fact that they don't believe they're the ones. They don't believe that they can go further than what they have seen, what they have experienced with their five senses. And so they keep self-sabotaging. They keep oscillating at the level of which they can comprehend. But you're not going to be able to comprehend a God-sized vision. There are 5 P's that I want you to take note of. Keep in mind your pores. Pores like something that's poured into, right? Keep in mind your pores. What do you see? What do you read? What do you listen to? Music, podcasts, books, radio. What conversations do you surround yourself with? Either you speak them and you hear them yourself, because you are the voice that you trust the most. Another P, the second P is passions. You're going to start changing your appetites. You're going to start changing your passions so that you have passions for the things that will lead you to fulfilling that vision. If you are now currently interested in things that honestly not only are different from that vision, but they actually counter that vision. I remember saying to somebody, and if she gets on this live, Dorothy, shout out to you. She's going to laugh about this, but I remember her talking about, where she's going to go in life and everything. And I said, then you have to start even facing the direction you want to go. Because it's one thing to walk, but sometimes people aren't even facing where they want to go. You can't get there. I always say you will always arrive where you're headed. You will only arrive where you're headed. No matter the purpose or vision over your life, you will only arrive where you are currently heading to. And so it is important for you to start having the appetite for the things that will lead you there. So I'll give you a little hack that I use. Recently, I kind of lost my way. I kind of lost, I felt like for this next season of this vision, I couldn't quite see well. And so I started looking for people who were aligned with God in a similar vision. Not to copy them, I just needed to put before me conversations. So I YouTubed just conversations that would build my faith for this vision that I have. So if you are in context and you're interested in things that you know are not going to lead you towards fulfilling that personal vision that you've been given, I'm going to ask you to start changing your passions, change your appetite for the things that you know you need to build you towards where you're going. So the first P is pour, the second P is passion, the third P is pursuits. You're also going to start looking at the things that you do. One of the things that we do when I'm coaching is to do a 24-hour audit of your weekdays and your weekends. Maybe a Saturday and Sunday might look different. But you do a 24-hour audit of your time and you see how much of your time is invested towards fulfilling your vision. Because no matter how great your vision is, no matter how great your goals and your plans are, if every single waking moment, every single day is invested in doing other things, or spent in doing other things, or wasted, in doing other things, that's what you'll get in your life. Listen, this hits me like it hits everyone else. I am called. I am anointed. I am purposed. Whatever else you can say about yourself. Yes, you are. But if you are spending your life daily in pursuits that are not aligned with the personal vision you've been given, the vision for yourself and the vision for what you will accomplish, you will not accomplish it. You will just simply run out of time and you will leave the earth. What God has for me is mine, and it will disappear. You will lose it. So it's important for you to be mindful of your pores. There's a time I completely changed all the music that I listen to. There's a time I completely changed the books I was reading. I changed the films that I watch. I changed the conversations I have with people. I changed the company that I keep. This is important because I need to be mindful of what is being poured in me. Each thing that I do, I make sure that I've always groomed a successor. That's one of the things that I know. Every leader must have a successor. There will come a time either you will be forced out, you will die out, or God will call you to something else, and you should have someone that will keep that aspect of the vision going. Please lean in and listen to this. Listen to this. Please listen to me. You are the only person that can fulfill that vision that you have been called to fulfill. That's why God gave it to you. You must be the number one protector of that vision. And where is that vision? It is in your heart, which means you must be the number one protector of this vessel that carries that vision, that must fulfill that vision. Your mental health, your mental emotional health, your physical health, how much sleep you get, how much rest, how much exercise, how much stress you're allowing into your life, what it is that you're working on, what you're studying, who you're engaging with, how balanced you are in your personal and in your professional life, how much you're contributing to society and meaningfully being part of an ecosystem. These are all important for you to stand healthy and to thrive in the vision that you've been given. And finally, the last P is in the right places. You got to be at the right place. You got to not be in the wrong place. It is important where you are. There is power in having a personal vision. A personal vision will have you collaborating in things. Other people are like, what are you doing here? But it is strategic. A personal vision will have you making friends with people. Other people wonder, what does this have to do with anything? But because either they have the mindset, they have the skill set, they have the access. Get this? I love being around people whom my future, right? Maybe my next step, maybe my next level, right? Maybe my next season is their past. So you're around people that are either so accomplished or seasoned or wise, right? That which you wish you would do, they're talking about, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Your future is their past. As we conclude, what I've shared, it's in Start Now with Purpose and a Master Plan. I share how you're here on purpose, for purpose. There is a problem, a very specific problem that you are wired to solve. And so Start Now with Purpose and a Master Plan. This book helps you discover that purpose. And of course, casting a vision and setting non-negotiable values and embarking on your mission. It helps you develop a plan. a plan that goes from the daily all the way, and I'm not going to go further, I don't go further than a year, because I want people to start practicing being intentional and being focused about goal setting. To displaying your presence. So discovering purpose and developing a plan, that is all internal. That's internal, back office, back end, nobody sees. This is the internal work that you do. But then displaying presence is coming out. Because get this, sometimes people I want to see the doors open and then I'll step into it. But God says you got to do this thing by faith. You have to take a step of faith because you heard me, right? Even if it's a feeling I have, I think this is the direction, walk into it. Walk into it prayerfully. He will confirm it. You take a step of faith, then resources are deployed. Resources are deployed for those who are in the field. This here, Start Now with Purpose and a Master Plan. This book is on Amazon, and this book is the framework, the blueprint for the Master Plan class. For those who have heard me talk about the Master Plan class, it's an amazing purpose-driven journey, a 10-week journey that I have taken over 200 leaders to discover their purpose, to develop plans, to display their presence, and deliver excellence in their fields. People from all kinds of sectors and walks of life have gone through this program to really align themselves with what God has in their lives, and to invest their energy. Every single day they wake up, it's a day that they're going to invest towards fulfilling purpose, towards fulfilling their vision. So if you're interested, you can Start Now with Purpose and a Master Plan on Amazon. And if you're interested in joining my 10-week program, the Master Plan class, just DM Master Plan class and I will give you more information, or my colleague will give you more information. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to see you next week. God bless you.